Hello there.
Look at this photo. You know this band, don't you? You do, even though you may not recognize them. Two of these guys even played on the band's last album that came out almost 17 years ago. Yes, it's Foreigner, only many people say it's not. So at what point a band become a tribute to, if not parody of, themselves? Let's discuss. Talking about Foreigner, and quite often about Yes, fans maintain that these bands have no moral, as opposed to legal one, to use the name because there's no original member left in the lineup. Yes, there are Steve Howe and Jeff Downes in Yes. And Lou Gramm sometimes comes up on stage with Foreigner, but it's not the same, right? And it won't be the same for, say, Kansas, now that Richard Williams sits out some of the dates. But are you aware that ensembles without a single original member have been going for a long time? The Platters, Four Tops, the Coasters, and the like never cease to exist and continue to tour and record, even after those who sang on their classics passed away. Well, the Temptations still feature Otis Williams.
But they're an exception to the rule. Nobody objects to these groups carrying on, and why?
The obvious answer would be because they never had a proper visual identity, which can't be said of their sonic or musical image. This is why Foreigner came under attack from purists. It's more complicated with Yes, however. Steve Howe has been one of this band's focal points since the 70s, not counting his leave of absence in the 80s. And John Davison has stood next to him at the microphone for 12 years now, creating a solid presence both in the studio and in front of the audience. Still, fans struggle to forgive the singer for sounding like John Anderson, as if it was Davison's fault that Chris Squire recruited him to be the vocalist once Benua David got ousted from the fold. So are current Yes, who recorded quite a few albums with other John, a tribute to their former selves? What about Brian May and Roger Taylor then? Can they be considered Queen without Freddie Mercury at the fore and John Deacon stage left?
Deacon didn't project a lot of personality visually, but Freddie? But then we had Thin Lizzy without Phil Lynott for a while. And there's Leonard Skennard with Johnny Van Zant taking his late brother Ronnie's place and restoring the band's look as well as their sound.
Nazareth seemed to have never recovered after Dan McCafferty had retired. Despite releasing a few albums since then,
But it felt like a natural progression for them, as it did for Smokey, who became faceless after my friend Terry Utley died.
So at what point bands become a tribute to their former selves? I think when they lose members they're mostly associated with.
While those musicians are there, the sound may evolve. When they leave, a group becomes frozen in time. And when they're frozen in time and aren't able to move forward, they can only pay homage to their past. Should they stop at this point? What do you think? Leave your comment below, or take a quiz, like this video, and subscribe.